happening in our country, why shouldn't we take part in our own demonstration? I used to work in the government in the past. I have lived most of my adult life in Tanzania, but I have never seen anything like what happened. And my interpretation, actually,
and what do you mean?
no matter what happened,
what do you mean? What happened on Wednesday?
The scenes that I have never seen in my life. There has been show of huge force, police everywhere. The anti-riot police is everywhere. I heard from people there had been fighter jets, like from the army barracks, flying all over Dar es Salaam. So basically, the government is trying to scare people about tomorrow. So the show of force is something that I've never seen in my life. So,
and has the government said what will happen to people if they do strike or if they do demonstrate?
Yes, they have, and that is from the president. I think a month ago, he gave a speech and mentioned about it.
And that's the Tanzanian blogger and activist Evariste Chahali.
Now, you fancy cooking yourself a little meal. You're not quite sure what you want to eat, but you may have an idea about the ingredients you want to have. So what do? Well, in the kitchens of the future, you might just turn to a 3D printer to print your dish. Cutting-edge technology being tried out by scientists at the Iwa Women's University in Seoul who think they're closer to this sort of idea becoming a reality, and we can speak to one of those behind it, Jin Kyu Ri, who joins us now from California. Very intrigued by this. I sort of know a little bit about 3D printers. How do you print food?
Yeah, as the ink, we decided to use the cryogenically powdered raw materials, and that technology allows us to get food with the right nutrient with a given texture and controlled digestion rate. So we are using a 3D printer to get the food with a specified content of nutrient necessary for a particular person, taste and smell and texture. That's what we have ever tried.
So hold on. If we take a printer, a normal printer, you put cartridges, it's got ink. In a 3D food printer, I'm not quite understanding what actually goes into it. What is it? Is it fresh food? Is it powdered food? What is it?
Yeah, everything can be possible. Usually we are just making a small piece. We are making a small piece of the food materials, and they are just ready to be combined and assembled to be just bulky food things using by a help of the binder materials. And when they are just mixed up together with a certain algorithm to construct a structured things, and that will be the just food. That will be the three-dimensional food.
Right, you're working on this right now. What food can you print?
Yeah, so far we have tried with just small block to imitate just texture and taste and sometimes the flavor. So far we have worked on to make a very elemental building block of the food materials, and but everything's are just in charge of the every kind of and very variety of the just taste and just texture. But once we got the library of them, and that will be just combined with a certain digital recipe, and that will be the maybe more closer to the real food.
Closer to the real food.
Yeah.
Is this real food, or is it just something which mimics food?
That's hopefully we would like to make a real food, but so far it's just the elemental things. But when they are just combined and joined together, and they will be eventually the real food.
Okay, thanks for explaining all that to us. That was Jin Kyu Hui live there.
Thank you for your time. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
On to questions about the violence in central Nigeria, which is...
With you now, if that's okay.
Okay.
Okay, lovely. I'll just put you through to the presenter. One moment.
Okay.
Hi there.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, Dinku. It's Shaima Khalil here. I'll be doing your other interview. Can I just confirm, is it Jinku Ri.
Yes.
That's how I say it.
Yeah, that's correct.
Fantastic. Okay, great. We're recording now, and sorry, we're just gonna get our levels straight. Look, it's basically gonna be a similar interview to what you just did with my colleague, and we're ready to start.
Okay.
So tell me a little bit about the idea and how it came about.
Okay, so as the ink, and we decide to use the cryogenically powdered raw materials, and this technology allows us to get a food with the right nutrient content with a given texture and controlled digestion rate. So with such a ink, and we use the 3D printers, and that will give us the food with the specified content of the nutrients necessary for a particular person and taste and smell or texture. So that's what we have ever tried so far.
So a regular printer would have ink and different colors of ink. A 3D printer is different, but a 3D printer that prints food, what do you put in it? Is it, for example, nutrient powders and then come together to make a meal?
Yes. So the raw material, such like just food things, and that will be a powder, and some of them will be just liquefied. So when you got such a powder and just liquid, and that will be combined with a certain recipe to be a solidified eventually. But that is not just random. That will be happened with a certain order, and that will generate and construct as a structure. So such a structure things are in charge of the taste and flavor, and just of a food.
So do you actually use ingredients in making this food?
Yes, that will be a extract from the real food materials. And
so food ingredients as in salt, pepper,
yes,
flour.
Certain such things are just one of them, and usually we usually getting just materials from the just natural source, such like gum or the protein, and some other powders from a insect and other things can be used for making food materials.
What food can you print now?
So far, we have tried to make a just small block to imitate the texture of a food. They are just in part of the just food taste and texture, but once we got the library of a variety of a texture and flavor, we will combine it with a certain recipe to mimic and finally simulate a real food. That's what we are trying it.
And so it's not real food. It's something that resembles food.
Yeah, so far it resembles food. Maybe that will maybe our oral processing. We do have a mouth, right? So when you got the food in our mouth, and then that will be processed by the help of our teeth and tongue. So when we are doing that, maybe the sensory perceptions are just inferred in there. So maybe if we are imitating a food with a certain procedure, we can deceive. Deceive is not good terminology, but maybe we can give stimulate our perception and our sensory to chew up the real food things. That's what we are doing.
That doesn't sound very delicious. I must tell you, Jinkui. But I'm wondering if you tasted any of the printed food.
Yeah, we have tried it, but actually,
what does it taste like?
Actually, they are very closer to the real food, and the real food, some of the food are already manufactured with a certain maybe closer to the 3D printers, but the small elements without a 3-dimensional coordinator already used for the food processing, but maybe the jello or some jelly things like a gummy bear, the processing to manufacture such things are very closer to the 3D printers. But
that's interesting. So something resembling gummy bears and jellos and things that are quite artificial.
Yeah, sure.
That we like to eat.
Sure.
Okay, and you said that you tried to taste it. What is it that you tried, and what did it taste like? Was it sweet? Was it salty?
Maybe the how we feel the force to chew up. That is the important things we can tell it from the food made by a 3D with the 3D printers. And then we tried it by our mouth, but in the laboratory we are using a texture analyzer to render the force happened in the food will be a calculated as just numbers, and that will be just a force as usually but with such numbers we can tell how much force just generate by the help of the microstructure manufactured by 3D printers.
And Jinkyo, just finally, who will use this printer eventually?
Maybe in the near future, maybe at home, the aged generation will get such printers in their home, and they will get the delivery of the food cartridge, and they will just combine it and with the digital recipe to get the food. Maybe that is just ready to eat or ready to cook. But also, together with that, maybe in the near future, the smart factory will adopt a 3D printer to generate a very complicated microstructure. So in the industry level, they will adopt it eventually. But maybe at home, people will get it as another types of a microwave oven.
But it's more simple foods. It's not something complicated. It's not, I don't know, it's not a pasta dish or chocolate cake or anything like that.
Nowadays in Germany, the Biojune, maybe I heard about that company, and they are making a food like a smooth form for the aged generation. But that is just a jelly type food. But eventually, with the power of a more precise and more accurate and more faster knowledge of the 3D printers, we will eventually get a more complicated form. That's what we are working on.
Jipkin, thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
Best of luck.
Okay, thank you.